Super Sunday indeed when you look at the WPL 2023. After the historic first match between Mumbai Indians and the Gujarat Giants yesterday, today you are going to see the first double header in the Women's Premier League. The first match is an absolute blockbuster with Royal Challengers Bangalore led by Smriti Mandhana taking on Delhi Capitals led by the legendary Meg Lanning. This clash will actually set the tone of who might be the favorites heading into the WPL if they have to claim the title. Because look at the star power that is there in both the teams, and it is truly, truly magnificent that RCB and DC will be the first match in this double header. The second match that will happen today at the DY Patil is Gujarat Giants versus the UP Warriors. Remember, Gujarat Giants are smarting over that huge 143 run loss that they had. But at this point in time, there are two big worries for Gujarat Giants. One, their net run rate has dipped to -7. And on top of that, they might be without Beth Mooney for the remainder of the tournament because she suffered a knee injury. And looking at it, Sneh Rana might come into the team as the vice captain. She was the vice captain. She might be appointed as the captain for the remainder of the WPL. So that's a big, big blow for Gujarat Giants who are preparing to take on Alisa Healy's UP Warriors. Now, our first attention is on this game RCB versus Delhi Capitals. RCB, if you have to look at which team would have won the WPL just by looking at the auction itself, RCB were the clear-cut winners because they got Smriti Mandhana for rupees 3.4 crores. She became the highest bid player in the history of the WPL auction. And after that, there was another blockbuster signings in the form of Elise Perry, Megan Shute, Richa Ghosh, and that is why looking at this RCB lineup, when you look at both the batting and the bowling, it is potent. I had mentioned the bowling, Renuka Singh Thakur. She is one of the best bowlers that India has currently, and she will be one of the key bowlers in this clash. If you look at the Delhi Capitals team, there are blockbuster names even there as well. Meg Lanning, one of the greatest women skippers in the history of the sport, she's got support from the likes of Shefali Verma and Jemima Rodriguez. These three players are going to be the key for Delhi Capitals if they have to topple Royal Challengers Bangalore. In the men's IPL, you've seen that there are two trends. One, Mumbai Indians never wins their opening game, and in the WPL, Harmanpreet Kaur's Mumbai Indians have already broken that jinx. First game, winning on their first match itself. So the men have got something to learn from the women when it comes to the WPL. East Sala Kab Namde, that's the common trend that goes around each and every time Royal Challengers Bangalore play the IPL. They haven't done it for close to 15 years. Can the WPL women's team achieve history and win the WPL for the first time? That is something that we will really, really be looking forward to. RCB's team are the team on paper. Elise Perry, Megan Shute, Richa Ghosh, Smriti Mandhana, Renuka Singh Thakur, five names that pick themselves in this team. That is going to be a really, really big shot. And not just these teams. If you have to look at it, there is also Dane van Niekerk and Heather Knight. Who do you pick among these two great players also? Maybe Heather Knight gets the nod because Knight is one of the best players that England has ever produced. And she's been in top form when you look at white ball cricket for England. So she will be one of the players there as well. And let's not forget, even in the Delhi Capitals, they have a best death bowler in the form of Jess Johnson, a left-arm spinner bowling brilliantly in the death overs. It's a rarity, and Delhi Capitals are blessed to have the likes of Jess Johnson in the team. So we are within moments of the toss, and actually, if you have to look at it, I think the toss has happened. And RCB have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl. This is the latest update we are getting at this point in time. Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl. And the team is also in. This is the team for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Smriti Mandhana, Sophie Devine of New Zealand, she is there. Remember, she's a brilliant top order bat. And recently in ODI cricket, she had a string of centuries which helped New Zealand really do well. Then there is Disha Kasat, who's a right-hand batter. Then you have Elise Perry, Richa Ghosh, Heather Knight, Kanika Ahuja, Asha Shobana, Megan Shute, Preeti Bose, and Renuka Singh Thakur. So all the major names that we have spoken about, they are there. There is Heather Knight, there is Elise Perry, there is Sophie Devine, and there is Megan Shute. So these are RCB's 4 overseas players. Renuka Singh Thakur is the Indian bowler who will be really looking at making inroads. If you look at the batting, Smriti Mandhana, brilliance indeed. Sophie Devine and Richa Ghosh. Mandhana and Richa Ghosh. Firepower at the top, firepower at the bottom. So that is how RCB are going to look at it. And if you have to look at the Delhi Capitals team, the Delhi Capitals team has Shefali Verma, Meg Lanning, Marizan Kapp is there, Jemima Rodriguez, Alice Capsey, Jess Jonathan, Tanya Bhatia, Arundhati Reddy, Shika Pandey, Radha Yadav, and Tara Norris. Now remember, why did I say that Delhi Capitals could have an X factor in the team? Who are the overseas players? Meg Lanning, Marizan Kapp, Alice Capsey, Jess Johnson, Tara Norris. Delhi Capitals are playing 5 overseas players. You would ask, why are RCB playing only 4 and Delhi Capitals playing only 5? That is because of Tara Norris. Tara Norris is a left-arm pacer from the USA, born in Philadelphia, but she was actually doing well in the 100. Tara Norris, since she is from the associate nation, the BCCI in the WPL auction had made it clear, if any team includes an associate member in their squad, they will be allowed to play 5 overseas players in the playing 11. Delhi Capitals picked Tara Norris up, and that is why they can play 5 overseas players in their playing 11, and that's exactly what's happened. So you've got Meg Lanning, Marizan Kapp, Alice Capsey, then you've got Tara Norris there. So that is the way it is. Jess Jonathan's also in that. So that is the playing 11 of the Delhi Capitals. For people who are joining us at this point, Royal Challengers Bangalore have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl. It is very hot, and according to what Smriti Mandhana has said that 4 overseas players are Perry, Shute, Sophie, and Heather Knight. This is a great platform. We have been waiting for it. It's a fresh wicket, bit of grass, and there are some quality seamers. So there is a bit of grass cover that is there at this point in time, but it is actually very hot, 33 degrees. And afternoon game, red soil pitch, nice and flat. So there will be bounce and carry, but also it's a flat deck. The grass is just there to bind the pitch together. We saw in the game yesterday, Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat Giants. The pitch was flat and one side of the boundary was 48 meters. The other side was 60 meters, 48 meter boundaries. We thought that instead of DY Patil, they were playing at Auckland, Eden Park, but that is how the boundary sizes are. Harmanpreet Kaur created a magnificent knock. She blasted 65. Hayley Matthews was in top form. And yes, I did not include Hayley Matthews in the players to watch out for because of her form that was there earlier. Yes, she did struggle a bit, but Hayley Matthews is an impact player, and Mumbai Indians are blessed to have an impact player like Hayley Matthews who set that base up. Hayley Matthews' big hit, Harmanpreet Kaur's clinical hitting. Remember, 7 consecutive boundaries Harmanpreet Kaur hit at one particular point in time. It leveled the record that Chris Gayle had it, but Chris Gayle had it 4 boundaries and 3 sixes. And you would remember who those 3 sixes and 4 boundaries came of. It was of Prashant Parmeshwaran. Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Kochi Tuskers earlier in 2011-12 in that season. 2011 season, that was when that record was achieved, and Smriti Mandhana and Harmanpreet Kaur will be hoping that Mumbai Indians does what Kolkata Knight Riders could not do. Start off well and end the tournament on a high. There were a lot of comparisons that were made between the first match of the WPL and the first match of the IPL. Remember, the first match of the IPL was Kolkata Knight Riders versus RCB. Kolkata Knight Riders notched up 222 with Brendan McCullum hitting 158. RCB were bundled out for 82. On the other hand, Mumbai Indians, the Women's Premier League match saw Mumbai Indians notch up a huge score. Gujarat Giants falling short. They registered a 143-run win. The earlier margin 2008 was 140 runs. So these were the coincidences that happened on the first day of the WPL, and after that you've seen in the 2008 IPL how it began. It needed a great start. Actually, if you look at it, Harmanpreet Kaur and the Mumbai Indians batting lineup gave a great start, but the rest of the match petered out to a very one-sided finish. So that is the only thing that we are looking at this point in time. RCB, on the other hand, they will be looking to start their WPL campaign on a high, because looking at the squad that has been assembled, they will be magnificent indeed. Ellis Perry, Megan Shue, two of the greatest players that the Australia women's cricket team have. At that point in time, it will be very, very important to see how they go about it. Then there is Sophie Devine, and then there is Heather Knight. Sophie Devine, a top order batter from New Zealand who's really done well in the past. And also you have Heather Knight, fantastic player from England who's actually one of the best in the business at this point in time. What about Meg Lanning? What did she say? Well, the pitch looks good, even covering of grass, and not unhappy to bat first. I think she wanted to bat first in the first place. We have three quicks and three spinners. So many all-rounders in women's cricket at the moment. We have practiced well. So one hopes that Delhi Capitals can get their campaign off to a great start. Remember, this is the only double header that we have. After that, there will be three double headers on 18th, 20th, and 21st. That is how this Women's Premier League is shaping up to be. Remember, 17th, 19th, and 22, there are no games because it will coincide with India's ODI matches against Australia. The format of the WPL is pretty simple. The top team, the one that finishes number one in the points table, they get a direct entry into the final. Number 2 and number 3 will be playing the eliminator. The winner of the eliminator plays the final. That is how this format is. A very unique format, unlike the WBBL and unlike the WCPL, where the CPL format is different, the WBBL format is different. So that is a very, very good sign indeed. So for people joining us now, RCB have chosen to bowl. It will be interesting to see how the likes of Megan Shute and Ellis Perry cope up on this particular wicket. Remember, it's quite hot, 33 to 35 degrees in Bombay at this point in time. Bright sunny conditions. Whatever moisture would have been there, whatever early freshness of the wicket would have been there, it would have all gone off in the Mumbai sun. And after a great start in the WPL, when Mumbai Indians put on a great show, many people are placing their bets on this particular match. Smriti Mandhana versus Meg Lanning, two of the best batters currently. Meg Lanning, a veteran and a leader who transcends all kinds of greatness definitions. Mandhana on her path to becoming one of the greats of women's cricket, not just in India but all over the world. So it is going to be a very, very vital and interesting clash indeed. 4 overseas players for Royal Challengers Bangalore, 5 overseas players for the Delhi Capitals, and they can utilize this advantage throughout the tournament. Smart buys. We have always associated the Delhi Capitals to be having a very, very good auction strategy. It did go off the rails in 2012, after 2012 a bit, but after that the Delhi Capitals have purchased some very, very good buys in the men's team. Here they had some very, very smart buys as well. If you have to look at the WPL auction, Delhi Capitals and UP Warriors had the best buys in the top. They also had the best budget buys. Because if you look at it, UP Warriors had most of the under-19 Women's World Cup winners. Yes, even the likes of Mumbai Indians and also Gujarat Giants had one player from the under-19 World Cup squad. But UP Warriors were the ones who took the top 2 in that, Parshvi Chopra and Shweta Sehrawat. Here, looking at the RCB lineup, if we can see, I'll again mention the teams. Who will be the key players? Well, you cannot look beyond Smriti Mandhana, Richa Ghosh, Ellis Perry, Sophie Devine and Heather Knight. And also you look at it, Megan Shute and Renuka Singh. What a potent bowling lineup that is going to be. Megan Shute and Renuka Singh opening the bowling. And after that, you will see the likes of Asha Shobna, who's a leg spinner. Then you will have Kanika Ahuja, who's a right arm off spinner, and Preeti Bose, who's a left arm orthodox spinner. So there is variety. You've got pace, Renuka Singh and Megan Shute. You want leg spin, you want off spin, you got Kanika Ahuja. If you want leg spin, you've got Asha Shobna. That is how it is. You want some medium pace, dibbly dobbly, Sophie Devine is there. So RCB have covered all the bowling bases as well as the batting. Firepower when it comes to the batting lineup is brilliant. Mandhana, Devine, Perry, Ghosh, Knight. That is brilliance in a way. Delhi Capitals, on the other hand, comparing that, if you look at the Delhi Capitals batting lineup, is slightly, we may say, not having that much of strength as the RCB lineup was, because Shefali Verma and Meg Lanning, these two will be the key. Jemima Rodriguez will mostly be coming in at number 3, followed by Marizanne Kapp at 4. And remember, Kapp has been in great form for South Africa in the World T20. She had some magnificent cameo knocks, plus she was very, very good with the ball as well. So that is how I look at it. Then Jess Jonathan, Alice Capsey, then we look at it. Tanya Bhatia. So the depth, when you look at the RCB and DC lineups, RCB tops that, DC slightly low on the depth factor. So I'll take some questions that has come. And yes, happy Sunday indeed, Yuk Parmar. Yes, it is a happy Sunday. Thanks, Aman Gupta. Vipul Virat Singh, hashtag RCB on fire. Yes, I mean, this is the team that is really, really on paper one of the best in the business. I mean, if they cannot win the title with these Galacticos, I don't know when will they win the title then. So Menak Biswas is like saying Harman is in a different level altogether. She could have bought the title home if she was a bit more careful. Agree. Had she played that kind of a knock and had she had carried on, yes, she was ill, but carelessness in that run, that cost India big time. So it is yet again a case of so near yet so far. But that 5-run loss ensured that Australia reached the final, and Australia were declared the winners after beating South Africa by a big margin, 21 runs, and 6th T20 World Cup title. So yes, we hope that it would have happened. Missing KKR though, we could have had one more team. Well, that one more team will come only in 2025 now. Remember, 2023 and 2024, these two editions of the Women's Premier League, you are going to see 5 teams. But from 2025 onwards, there will be one more team. Who's that one more team? KKR, Chennai, Rajasthan, Punjab. These were the 4 teams that did not come into the WPL because they had bid, but due to some logistical and financial reasons, they had to back out. KKR had bid a lot, but at this point in time, it's just not happening. So Chennai, KKR, RR, then you look at it, Punjab, these 4 teams did not bid in the WPL, and it's a big disappointment for them. What is the matchups for Jemima? Param Joshi is like saying, whose contest it will be? That's a good question. Jemima Rodriguez versus Megan Shute. Remember, Megan Shute has been one of the prime bowlers who's troubled Jemima Rodriguez in the past. Look back to the CWG final 2022. Jemima Rodriguez and Harmanpreet Kaur were really batting brilliantly. But Jemima tried to go over the top. She tried to slog over deep mid-wicket, but unfortunately Shute bowled a leg cutter and the leg stump was knocked back. And that was when the collapse started and India lost by an agonizing margin of 9 runs in the CWG final. So Jemima Rodriguez versus Megan Shute, that will be the ultimate matchup that I am seeing which is going to happen. But then if you have to look at the bowlers, who will be Smriti Mandhana eager to tackle? Well, Shikha Pandey versus Smriti Mandhana, or Arundhati Reddy versus versus Smriti Mandhana. Maybe that could happen. The other lineup, see, there is a mixture of left arm fast. Tara Norris is a left arm pacer. She can trouble Smriti Mandhana. Radha Yadav is a slow left arm orthodox. But remember, Radha Yadav has not had that much of bowling when it comes to the T20 World Cup recently. So she will be a bit undercooked in that sense. Arundhati Reddy is a wonderful, I mean, if you may say, she's got a bit of pace if you look at it. So she can trouble them. But Jess Jonathan will be the key. And if you have to bet on who will give you the early impact, maybe Marizanne Kapp can get Smriti Mandhana early, and Sophie Devine as well. So Kapp versus Mandhana, that is going to be the key. And this will be an important tournament. Kunsinero is like, this will be an important tournament for Poonam Yadav after a good domestic season. Yes, I mean, Poonam Yadav, one fails to understand how could she have had that dip in form that saw her out of the Indian cricket team, because prior to 2020, she was the best leg spinner in the world. I mean, those slow, loopy leg breaks would trouble every batter. And remember, it was Poonam Yadav's spell that ensured India had beaten Australia in the league stage match of the T20 World Cup. But after that, unfortunately, Poonam Yadav has not been able to feature for India on a consistent basis. And that is why this will be very important for Poonam Yadav. This tournament will be very important indeed. So there is no Laura Harris. That is the only overseas player that is not there. Will it be successful? Stadium was almost empty last night. King D, no. I mean, see, there was a fair crowd assembled. They saw the opening ceremony. They saw all this. So it is a start. Women's cricket, unfortunately, in India, I mean, they've had to fight an uphill battle to even get the WPL. Remember, when the WPL was proposed in 2017, after India's final loss to England in the ODI World Cup, it took a lot of convincing. There was a T20 challenger which had 4 matches. That kind of tokenism did not work. You had to get the WPL in some time. These kind of logistical challenges will remain. Mindset changes will happen, but it will happen. It's just a start. But yes, I acknowledge the fact that the WPL may have lost out on the first mover advantage because the Women's Big Bash League has been the yardstick and the gold standard for 8 years now. Now, the WPL, if it can match up to it, great. But otherwise, if you look at primarily the T20 leagues for women, the WBBL is right up there. So we are all set for a blockbuster clash here between RCB and Delhi Capitals. Royal Challengers Bangalore will be hoping what the men could not do, win the WPL and put in a big statement of intent. They have got the stars, especially the likes of Mandana, Perry, Ghosh. There is also Heather Knight, so that will be a very, very good batting lineup. And you've also got Renuka Singh and Megan Shute as well. Delhi Capitals, on the other hand, 5 overseas players. You've got Meg Lanning, you've got Jess Johnson there, you've got Shikha, you've got, when you look at the Indian talent there, you've got Shefali Verma, you've got Jemima Rodriguez, you've got Radha Yadav. Everybody, they are superb in their right. So it is going to be a thrilling encounter. And after that, you're going to see the Gujarat Giants taking on the UP Warriors. Gujarat Giants may be led by a new captain. On the other hand, you may see the UP Warriors led by Alisa Healy trying to get off to a great start. So we will be back in Sports Today for all the information. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Like, share and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Bye-bye.